welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is January the 10th, 2025, and it's been a full week of mail. So I got a bunch of mail this week too, which is nice to be able to show you. I've got some official Postcrossing, I've got some direct swaps, I've got some surprises, and I've even got a limerick that I got to read to you today. And on top of all that, if that wasn't enough, there's a special postcard that's going out this year that has never gone out as far as I know before, and hopefully never will have to go out again. So I want to introduce that as well. There's your little tease. If you're finding my channel for the first time, make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, and you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any of the fun. There are a bunch of different videos coming out and live streams and all sorts of things, so I wouldn't want you to miss out. And I also want you to be there along for the ride. So let's get started right away. The very first card is going to be a official Postcrossing card. It is a post box, and this comes from Malaysia. It comes from Albert. He's in Kuala Lumpur. He says his office is very close to the main post office, which was handy. He used to collect first day covers, but there used to be people that would cut in front of the lines and save spots for other people. I found it really frustrating. There was only a limited number to get, so even if you did your best and you got in line, there was people that were kind of cutting ahead of you, so kind of put him off it, which I'm ashamed that that's happened, and hopefully he will get back into it some other time. I want to show you the stamp. Really cool stamp too. So thank you, Albert, for the postcard, the stamp, and the message. I really appreciate it. The next card comes from Japan. Look at this cool looking card. So it says on the back, "Greetings from Japan. I'm Ishigo, living in Akita in the northern part of Japan. I hope you like this postcard." And look at the stamps and the nice washi tape. So thank you so much for putting all that together. I really like that airmail stamp. That's different too. So thank you so much for the decorations and the beautiful card. I really appreciate it. The next card comes all the way from Canada. I love getting cards from Canada. You've heard that before. It's kind of a rarity when it comes to post-crossing that you get cards, at least here in Canada, from your own country, and this week was extra special. This particular card, a Porsche card, or Porsche, depending how you want to say it, comes from Mississauga, and this comes from Kathy, and she says that her son is a Porsche auto tech. He's a huge Lego fan, and she even got a set of Lego for Christmas too this year. There's the stamp, uncanceled on the back. So thank you so much, Kathy, for sharing that. And she says she likes coming to my part of the world, but she thinks the winters might be rough. It's only 3 degrees out there, barely any snow on the ground. So far, the winters aren't that rough. I think they're getting it worse in Mississauga than they are here. So Kathy, if you're watching it, you might want to come visit anyways. All right, the next card, also from Canada. This nice card here comes from Quebec. And she says, "Hi, I'm so glad to get a fellow Canadian. We passed through Moncton going to PEI, and I messaged her. I said, if you're passing through, you should stop and visit." She says she has. They've seen all sorts of great sites all around our province, so I really appreciate that when she comes to visit every year, which she does, that she's taken in some of the sites along the way. It's signed Despina, and there is a Music Plus stamp. So thank you for that. The next card comes from the United States, and what's interesting about this one, it comes from Massachusetts, so just down the road, but the gentleman named Joseph wrote it all in French on the back. So I don't know if he's French by nature or because he was writing to Canada, he thought he'd try his French out. Either way, I understood it. It says that he is interested in my videos, he was going to check them out, that he works for a car company, and that I have a hope I have a great new year. I really appreciate that. Hopefully he does as well. There's the forever stamp that Joseph used on that card. My next official Postcrossing card comes from Germany, and it's this one here. So dream, believe, and achieve. What a great message to be putting out there. This comes from Franz. He says, he likes my hobby. It's nice that you show your postcards. I'm just wondering if you deliver the mail myself. I do deliver the mail myself, not to myself, because my address, my P.O. box is not in my route, but I do deliver the mail every day, and it's been a busy week. We've been catching up, so there's been lots of mail, lots of parcels coming through. So it's not been bad, though. The weather's been good. There's the stamp. So thank you so much for that, Franz. Or friends, or Franz. Hans and Franz. All right. You guys know that reference. It's a great skit. Okay, the next stuff I have is not official Postcrossing. It is surprise mail and direct swaps. And the first one is a surprise. It is this card. Kind of looks like a postage stamp. And it comes from Kate, and she's in Russia. And she says, I really want to travel to Canada. Sometimes I think about relocating to Canada, but my English is bad. Have a good day. Your English is not bad. What you've done on the back and your writing is very proper as well. So thank you so much for that. I'm sure your country is beautiful where you are too, but Canada is beautiful. If you get a chance and you want to relocate, we'd be happy to have you. So there you go. Now, there's no Postcrossing ID on this, and there's no return address. So Kate has just sent me a card, which I really appreciate. Must mean she's been watching my videos. Unfortunately, I can't, even if she did have an address, I can't return the favor to her because we are not allowed to send mail to Russia at this moment. All right, we're moving along. A nice big card. This is a California card. And our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those people in the Los Angeles and the Southern California area where the wildfires are going. I know crews from British Columbia, Canada have flown down and are helping to fight the fires down there. So take care to everyone who's there. But this particular card is from Lisa in Atlanta, Georgia. So she's away from the wildfires. She says she had some low value stamps and had this long postcard, so decided to send them to me. Really enjoyed the stamp versus stamp. That's my collaboration with Stn Main with Smokey. We just put out another one, Lisa, so hopefully you got a chance to watch that. It came out on Wednesday this week, and it was a bit about us traveling around our communities and finding locations that we've set up for each other. I want to show you the low value stamps too that she has put on here. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that. And the polo sticker. Oh, and there's another stamp down there too. So thank you very much, Lisa, for thinking of me and sending that card along. And once again, to those people that are in Southern California, stay safe. The next card is a beautiful unicorn card like this. This comes from Erin in Colorado. And she says, we're thawing out after our first big snowfall of the year. I hope you're well. Well, hopefully everything's well with you. We're doing good. We really haven't had much in the way of winter yet. In the stamp versus stamp video that I just talked about, you can see how much snow is on the ground. It's just the dusting. You can still see the grass poking through, and it has melted a lot since I shot that video too. So yeah, I'm sure more snow is coming before winter is done, and probably for you in Colorado too. Look at the beautiful round stamps, washi tape, the stickers. Erin did a great job decorating, and her printing is always very good as well too. So thank you so much. Now we're moving on to Ah Young, or SW, as you might hear him being called. He's in Singapore, and there are the stamps. Really like this really long one here, but the other ones are really nice too. And he sent inside of this envelope a season's greeting folded card. So very nice that he thought of me for Christmas. I really appreciate that. And so there will be lots of mail to flow this year now that we're back to work. So thank you very much. The next card comes from Finland. And here we have Santa, Lego Santa that is. This comes from Pirjo, and she's in Finland. She says, I hope you and your family have a great Christmas time, and I wish you can make many more interesting and funny videos next year too. Well, I'm gonna do my best to do just that. There's the stamp. I really appreciate that you took the time to send this to me. You guys all know how much I like Lego, and I do have some Lego videos that will be coming up because I got some stuff for Christmas and I ordered some stuff, and it's just a matter of time to find my son Ari to join me to put together a few of the things, but that's coming up. So thank you so much for the card. The next card comes from Hannah, and she says, greetings from, and she has traveled, well, she lives in the United States, but there gives you an indication. There's a Canadian stamp. She came north of the border. She went to Toronto and to Montreal. She went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. She got to see a hockey game too while she was in Montreal. And so I hope that they really enjoyed their time north of the border and seeing some of the sites that we had to offer. And so thank you so much for taking the time, Hannah, to send me this card. And your stamp didn't get canceled. It's funny, a lot of the stamps that are coming within Canada are not getting canceled. And to show another example of that, this one, the Big Apple. I've never heard of this before. In Colborne, Ontario, Canada, the giant apple. This card comes from Ross. He says, a famous roadside attraction along the 401 highway. I always stop there for apple pie. It's closing in on 8 million pies sold. And there's the stamp, uncanceled, almost unhinged from the postcard itself. It just made it, I guess. So thank you, Ross, for that. Hadn't heard of the Big Apple or the famous pies that are nearby. Ross wasn't done though. He's been doing a little bit of traveling. So he sent this card from New Orleans. And it says St. Charles Avenue, New Orleans. You can see black and white card. The postcard had a little bit of bend when it arrived. He said, the old streetcars are well worth riding. A day pass is only $3. So one day, when I get to New Orleans, I will take you up on that and I will take a ride on the streetcars. He wasn't done. He sent one more postcard. Greetings from Le Vieux Carré, the old square. And I guess this is part of Mardi Gras maybe going on here. It says, always a good party in NOLA. Now, the downside of how he sent this on December 11th. He had no idea that on December 31st or January 1st, the early days, that there would be a terrible accident or on purpose, I guess, someone driving a car through NOLA, killing a bunch of people. Not that I'm going to bring this down, but when he said that, always a party in NOLA, sometimes the parties get out of control. So be careful, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, be cautious. Have fun, but be cautious. So thanks, Ross, for the cards. The next one I have, I got to just adjust this a little bit so the address gets covered, is this Christmas card. Almost looks like a little vintage Christmas card. This comes from Dave in Illinois. He gives me his new address. That's what I had to cover up on the back. He says, I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I imagine I'm going to see a few of those cards, those greetings too, like the Hank Aaron stamp there too, beautiful stamps. As the mail picks up and catches up, we'll see some of those greetings still coming through the mail. All right, the next card is this one here, kind of a funny space card. You can see all the constellations. You can see people in the photo booth, the astronauts. I don't know if I'd take my helmets off to take that picture if I was sitting on the moon, but that's what they chose to do anyways. This comes from Jessica, and Jessica's in South Carolina. She says, thank you for sending me a shaped postcard. So I did send her a shaped postcard from my travels. When we were on the cruise, I bought a few different shapes, and so one of them went her way. She said, today is Veterans Day here, and it's also her father's 67th birthday. So happy belated to your father, because I know Veterans Day was in November. That was a couple months ago, so hopefully he is enjoying his 67th year. And there are the stamps, including the Alex Trebek stamp. So thank you. Appreciate that, Jessica. All right, now I've got a few envelopes. The first one comes from New Mexico, and Robert. I'll show you the stamps there. On the back it says, my cousin, Chewbacca, because Robert's last name is Baca. So he went to a Postcrossing event. And he says, greetings from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He said he attended this Postcrossing meetup last week in his hometown, which was also about 50 miles from the site where the first atomic bomb was tested. He said his dad supposedly was woken up from the blasts. There are all the people that attended. And he sent a couple stamps, but I'm going to save those stamps for another video, because I do have some other things that arrived this week that were stamp related. I thought, oh, we'll put them all aside and put them in that video. The next card comes from Bennett in New Zealand. There is the stamp from Bennett. We've got some beautiful food items on the back, yummy, yummy. And inside, Bennett sent this postcard, and it said, so pleased to see you are able to rejoin us in the wonderful world of the post. I'm sending a few welcome back presents to celebrate all the best for 2025. Power to the posties in solidarity. So yeah, we're back to work again. And he sent this envelope, a little bit creased, but that's all right. And in the envelope are some stamps. So that is another thing that I will set aside, but he did put in some Star Wars stickers too. So we have those for decorating future postcards. So let me just return these to the envelope, and we will look at the stamps in another video. You'll hear me say that a few times here. The next card comes from Mark in England. It's an envelope. There's a stamp, uncancelled, has arrived here. Still crazy seeing King Charles III. I know it's going on a couple years now, but I'm used to seeing Queen Elizabeth II on there. And so he sent me a folded card, a Christmas card. Kind of reminds me of the winter stamps that came out last year too. And I guess I should say 2 years ago now, because it was 2023, not 2024. And inside he put this envelope, says Netherlands, unmounted mint stamps. So there's your sneak peek at what you'll get to see when I open that envelope, because that will be at a later date. And then we have another envelope. This one comes from Lila in Maryland. You can see the forever stamp and the snowman cancel that's on there. And she also sent me a folded card. And inside the folded card was some information, but also some stamps. It says, I'm writing this boring international forever, I'm using this boring international forever stamp to make sure these are delivered. Well, it was delivered. And then she said she found some nice stamps that the dealers seem to be putting aside for her now, so they kind of know what she's looking for. And so she has sent a few things on to me. And one thing that she didn't really know what it was for, and I hoped I could shed some light on it. So that we're saving for another day. And we carry on. This one from Christian. And Christian is in Australia. There's the stamps there on the one. And inside, Christian has sent this postcard. It says, here's an early Christmas present. Well, it wasn't early, but here's a Christmas present I thought you might like. Some mint. Should I say what they are? I'll just show you what they are. I could save them for another video, but I thought they were really nice. They're first day of issues, postcards. So there's your stamps, the maxi cards, all ready for Remembrance Day. They are unused, you can see there. So they could be mailed, or they could be put away in a collection. Get nice and close with those stamps. You see the poppies there. Some buttons, some letters from home. Just real nice postcards, but also a tribute to the brave men and women that fought during several different wars to protect our freedoms. So I'll put that aside. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, Christian. The next thing I have comes from Stephen in Australia. You probably could have figured that out with the koala bear stamp that's on there now, opening the present. Really cute stamp. We've got Santa on the back, and inside we have a folded card, and it's got a little S down there. So I would say that Stephen drew this himself. So thank you so much. There's some greetings inside for me, and so I appreciate that. And then along with that, not in that envelope, but emailed to me, is the limerick of the week. So he wasn't sure how fast things were going to get to me, and so he decided he'd email me this week's limerick, number 2, and it's a historical and legendary limericks number 2. Now Guinevere was a young queen who hoped that no one had seen that for brave Lancelot she had a soft spot which she just could not get clean. These are getting a little dirty or naughty, aren't they here, Stephen? So thank you for the limerick. We'll put that aside with your envelope, which brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about. And we teased it at the beginning that there is a postcard that has come out probably for the first time and hopefully for the last time that has to do with Christmas here in Canada. And because Canada Post workers went on strike on November the 15th and didn't get back to work until December the 17th, children's Christmas cards were not answered probably in time to get there for Christmas. So Santa was on a little bit of a vacation, and so Canada Post has put out these postcards, and they are bigger than a regular size postcard. I'll show you a regular size postcard. They are a bit bigger. I'll give you that. And you can see Santa and Mrs. Claus and a couple of the elves and even a reindeer in the background. And it is prepaid postage on this side. It is a card to go out. So these are cards that have come from the North Pole, written by Santa, and going out to all his friends. I'm gonna read the message on the back, but I want to keep in mind that what I'm probably gonna do this year, I've had someone already request one of these because they heard about them. I think I'm gonna send out a bunch to my direct swaps. So hopefully my direct swaps won't mind that it won't be a washi and sticker covered card with a big message or a little message from me. You'll get one of these instead. Twofold. One, you're gonna get a piece of Canadian history and postcard history that not everybody's gonna have. And two, I'm gonna save myself a bunch of money on postage because it is a prepaid postage. All I have to do is put the address here, maybe a polo sticker, could add my name down to Santa's name at the bottom. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, and send them off. So if you think that's a good idea, my direct swap's out there. You can let me know in the comments. Otherwise, you can be surprised when one of these shows up possibly in your mailbox. I'm gonna have to go get some more of them. When I talked to Santa today, he said I was allowed to take a few of them that he had already written up for his friends. And I will give you an example of what is on the back of these cards. So you've seen the image. What does Santa say to his friends? He says, "Dear friend, thank you so much for writing to me and for being so patient waiting for my reply. After all the wonders of Christmas that kept Santa so busy spreading cheer to children like you, Mrs. Claus and I have been on a big vacation. This year we hopped into our camper van and set out on the open road. I love road trips. You never know what you will encounter. One night, it was already dark by the time we pulled our van into a campsite. Look up, said Mrs. Claus. I looked up and saw a giant constellation in the sky. Well, wouldn't you know it, the stars were in the shape of a candy cane. We marveled at the night sky, set up a tent that one of my elves made for me, and slept under the stars in our red velvet sleeping bag. But seeing the candy cane only made me think of Christmas and how much I missed it already. I do hope you'll write me back next year. I can't wait to tell you about what we're working on at the North Pole. Until then, stay safe and have fun, Santa." So that is the response from Santa to not all the Christmas letters getting responded to in time for Christmas because of work stoppages at Canada Post. So I have a few of them. I will get some more, but don't be surprised if they end up in your mailbox. And if you want to preemptively let me know that you'd like to have one, I can set it aside. Because what I do is, rather than sending out a bunch, I usually send them out to people who have already written to me. So the cards that I have, for example, this week, I could return these cards to them as a way of saying thank you for writing to me. And I still have a few from last week too. It's going to be a great way for me to save a little money on postage, because on Monday, postage rates go up by 25 cents. I have bought a few stamps in advance for that. But if I can get away with, say, sending 20 or 30 cards that is prepaid, I will do that. And it is a good way to remind people that Christmas was interrupted a little bit, or at least the lead up to Christmas was interrupted. And we want to apologize for any inconvenience it might have had trying to get things going in the right direction for a contract. All right, that being said, great week, lots of beautiful mail, really appreciated it. And I really like the card that Canada Post put out this year. So kudos to them for that. And that's it. Tomorrow will be a live stream at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. So if you want to be a part of that and comment and question, join me tomorrow. I'm going to be at the Stamp Show tomorrow. At least that's where I think I'm going to be when 12 o'clock hits. I'm going to go. I'm going to pick up a few things. Should I get everything I need before 12 o'clock, the live stream will be here. Otherwise, it will be in a quiet room or quiet corner somewhere at the Stamp Show. So that's the plan for tomorrow. You guys have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye. life after shooting a video is me lying on the couch with the TV and watching a little YouTube while I do a little laundry. Exciting stuff. Aren't you glad you stuck around to hear about it?